Hi everyone. Today is what? January 8th. And let's go through BTC starting with 1 hour. I was looking at 1 hour, so better we start with that and then go higher level. Right. Mm, let's see what it wants to do. Firstly, this low is a good support, a technical support. This whole entire band, but specifically this low was a support. Now what does it mean? This support is as good as the not December, like 29K support, which is like from June, July time frame. And it also means that this has very significant, this has significance in terms of stability. So to me, if this is broken below, just in case, then I think the risk is much higher on the downside. Mm, so, at the same time, it also means that if it bounces, then there is a good chance that it goes much higher. And I would like to be with the bounce with the higher level at this moment. Simply being because it's not coming down to this one. And if it comes down to this one, I suggest everyone should have alert somewhere here. I have alert here, but somewhere in this at this level, everyone should have alert. So you get at least few minutes to prepare for any kind of risk in case you're not prepared. But as long as it's in this region, not near the low, I don't think anyone should assume about going down. We'll talk about alts, but you know that if the Bitcoin doesn't go down and bounces, if not today, alts would go up. Okay, I mean the one that we have in the active list. Not everything, of course, not necessarily. So I think risk management point of view, rather than any individual coin, the Bitcoin remains the most important, and that's why the key levels of Bitcoin remains the most important, comparatively speaking. So I personally, if any coin goes down, let's say we were just talking about it before the recording started, FTM went down by 4%. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Um, I'm going to keep you all on mute. This is being recorded, so just to make sure. So I wouldn't mind. But if any coin does something silly for a longer time, we'll see. At this moment, I don't think we should worry. As long as BTC doesn't go down in this region around 41,000 something, right? So that's number one thing and most important thing, because somebody might assume that it has been going down, so it will continue going down. There's no sign of bounce. So yeah, I know there's no significant bounce, but it doesn't mean it goes down. Yesterday I mentioned three scenarios on the BTC daily. If you have not referred, you may. Basically, when there is consolidation, very important point, I know that it could go up or down because there are only two directions. So we know that. So there is no reason why anyone should assume about direction when it is consolidating. When you see this kind of a consolidation, what you do, the best practice, is to track the boundary. If it is coming close to the lower end, that's the negative sign. If it is trying to make higher high, for example, this was a major point of rejection. If you go at a lower time frame like 1 hour, you're going to see multiple rejections. So sometimes you have to zoom out, let's say 4 hour, for example. You will find a cluster, like this is a cluster. So what you want to do, what you want to see here is this particular bounce need to go above this and ideally above this, because if you look at the candle, this was the main rejection, I mean the major rejection, right? And this is like recovery. So this was the downside move, right? And then attempt to recover, and then attempt, I mean recovery attempt, and then rejection, and made a new low slightly and for a very brief moment in time. And since then, every 4 hours, if you look at this candle, it's making progress. Not huge progress, it's making progress, right? You may say more or less flat, but in fact, it's making progress. If this comes down to this, then we can say no, it has reset it. But right now, you cannot conclude it. This 4 hour candle still 1 hour 47 minutes to go as I speak. And in that case, if it continue going down, going up like this, so that's progress, still a progress. So if there's no reason why anyone should assume about any downside move. That's the point I want to convey. Very important. And who knows, by this call ends, we might see BTC somewhere here, and that's something we would like to see, right? Ideally, I mean, like to see means in next few hours. Ultimately, it should make a steady progress. So I would say the first good news would be when it hits 43K. Second good news when it hits 43,800 or something, right? And this one, which was like the purple one, we wanted it to break above, because this was the lifeline earlier, right? This was the key support, and we were tracking this support for many days, because if you look at number of touches here, so many touches. So this particular level, 44,300, was really a lifesaver during this period. So if this recovery bounce could break above and stay above this one again, then that's progress, real progress. Now these are, like as I said, nothing changes overnight. So you when these are milestones. Some milestones are minor, some are major, but these are milestones. What you would like to see, keeping the timeline aside, that they hit each milestone, okay, in coming days. That's the expectation from as part of the recovery is concerned. And as long as they continue hitting these milestones, then we can say, okay, now there is steady progress and things should be back to where we wanted as far as bull run is concerned. Right. So it is rather easy if we have this kind of planning in mind, or observation, I would say method in mind, not observation but a method, that you need to know what are the key levels. So as I said, these are the levels. So after that, of course, the ultimate level is 49K. So I would like to zoom out at 12 hours now. You see, in 12 hours, we already had 12 hours green candle, and also this is green. There is absolutely no reason for anyone to speculate anything otherwise. It's making progress, boring, sluggish, but progress, right? Als would go up, down. Flux was down by 18%. When I see now, it's 25% up. This kind of coins, we'll look into the als later, but I'm just purposefully tying up with BTC, that these coins have tendency to make bigger move, whether it's on the downside or on the upside. Different coins have that different characteristics, so the choice has to be very When you choose, you have to have a good understanding of the nature. Some are aggressive, some are less aggressive. And when you build a portfolio, you cannot take all the aggressive one unless you know what you're doing. And somebody who doesn't have time, somebody who cannot handle, should even avoid it. Not advice, but best practice, because they are not suitable for stop loss. 25% move is normal for this kind of coin. I'm just taking an example, and it's not hard for you to figure out. If you look at the best practices channel on the Discord, I explain how to figure out. So you can have a look. I won't go into that detail, it's already documented. So you figure out what coin is suitable for you, and then build a portfolio. Your nature and the nature of the coin should be aligned. Sometime even Bitcoin is good enough for someone, nothing wrong. And sometime you have a Bitcoin plus some else, that's also fine. And so basically, and then you decide what percentage I should have a very fast moving coin, or so you decide. But the bottom line is, the alts percentage is not the measure. It's never a measure to determine what it's likely to do. Okay. So, and many times, many people, many new traders try to determine their performance or outlook based on percentage, which is not so correct, because when the market falls, they fall at an equal space and reset everything. Okay, so that's important. So on a daily basis, when you track, you better focus on Bitcoin, not your alts, unless it is like over days it's doing something different than Bitcoin, then it's a different thing. Okay, but on active list, I'm watching it. So if any coin does something weird, I'm going to highlight it. So at least you don't have to worry about it. I'll take care of it. Okay, so the Bitcoin on 12 hours is not that bad. We need more, as I said. Ultimately, 49,000 is the level we want. Okay, that's the that's the new requirement now. So the what you're seeing, what the requirement is now in terms of dollar number is going down because the price is going down, which is actually in a way good, because now you have more room. I mean, you know, in a way, if you're, so there's not much distance to cover. So if 49k is broken above, then I think it's a big victory. Then it should come out of the risk. In short, it should come out of this orange downturn, and I'm expecting a v-shape bounce. So I'm expecting v-shape bounce like this, maybe some time spent here, and then continue going up. And this is where, if I project this, I think I can project this one. Today is 8th, right? And around in next 1 week or so, within 4 or 5 days, if this continues going up, if then we should see Bitcoin somewhere here in by January 14th or so. Okay, and of course there will be a reaction, because this orange line is not going to let Bitcoin go without any kind of reaction. So the reaction could be a retracement, little bit of correction here, and then consolidation, and that will be the decisive moment. So this zone is going to decide approximately 47 to 49k range. This zone is going to decide ultimately what Bitcoin, because this zone is also was also very much actually critical when it had to break above 52,400. That was the earlier requirement. So now this range is going to be critical, and of course starting from here, but this is the most critical one, and after that this is the most critical one, the next one. Okay, so this is how I'm seeing things at this moment. So it has to first get out of this, break above S5, and then this is going to be the final decision point. Okay, so if it is able to break above 49k, I'll just extend this. Then I'm not worried. Then I'm not worried about Bitcoin. Then it should continue going up steadily, and we'll see. That's too far at this moment, because next week we are going to reach. I mean, review it. Next week is going to be, and in between also we do. So I'm not going too much in future right now. It doesn't make sense. So this is good enough, but we should look at different charts at different time frame for sure. I'll hide the, and we should move to Bitstamp for this, because that's what we track for weekly, and this is weekly call. So here it's all about trend. When you look at weekly, it is not good, it is weak, right? But at a critical support, this chart, we have been tracking this chart. Week has been over, and this was a checkpoint, uh, and this was a checkpoint, and right now it is trying to recover from here. Yeah, so it's trying to recover from here. So this is the most critical one. If this is broken, the red dot you see, which is intersection of this white line and the support, is going to be the target, lower end target, which is 35,250, approximately this level. Okay, 35k range, and that's the lower target. If our recent low is taken out, so if that is broken, so that's weekly, very simple. And this is my ultimate checkpoint. This is the most critical level from a weekly standpoint of view. If this is broken, in case, just in case, then 29k is in trouble, and in that case the bull trend is in trouble. Okay, just in case. So when you track weekly, the recent low is the immediate important one, and the next one is this 35,250. So sometimes, to make life easy, you track only the weekly, because ultimately your goal is not to see how much percentage it went up today, tomorrow, or goes down. Your main focus, my main focus, your main focus, everybody's main focus is to ensure whether the uptrend is intact or not. Correct? Tell me if I'm wrong. That's the ultimate question. Because that in crypto today it's down by 25%, tomorrow it can go up by 25%. Everybody on this platform knows that. Everybody has seen it. So nobody is surprised that crypto make move of 20% here and there easily. So no one on this platform would be with that kind of mindset and would be worried based on percentage. But I keep on repeating. So the ultimate question is this, and this is the ultimate level in my opinion, the most critical one. Of course, ideally, I mean, this is the most one important one, because the weight of the pattern will change. So how? Because this is upper bound right now, this is mid level, and this will be like, then the probability of going down will be 70% here. This is 50-50. When it breaks above this level, then the higher high would have 70% probability. In this orange zone, it is 50-50. Below orange zone, coming down to this level is 70% on the downside, 30% on the upside. This is very easy method to determine how the balance is changing, right? So if it continue moving up, the probability goes up. So I'm not going into number game, so 50 to 60, 60 to 65, just rather keeping simple. 70-30 I chose to indicate, it could be 75-25 also. That's not important. The important thing is the ratio. When it is here, the higher probability. When it is here, the higher probability of going down. When it is here, there is a higher probability of going up. In simple words, if we don't focus too much in numbers, that's the whole idea. Here it's 50-50 because it's right in the middle. This is a rectangular pattern wise. This is your entry point. This is upper bound, touch the lower bound, touches the upper bound again, and comes to the mid level. So when it comes down to this, the weight of the whole entire pattern shifts to the downside. That's why this is the most important level, represented by this red dot. So bounce wise, it could bounce from here also, it could bounce from here also. However, the probability has to be different, right? So that's important point. Now, yeah, so this is the weekly. What else should I cover on weekly? I think yeah, if this is broken below, then these are 20k, 19k are the level, nothing new. That's for information only, right? But right now, you may say one thing, this is like a nice consolidation. Let's hide drawing. So what this could be a platform, actually a platform. Let me show you a very different point of view. You've probably not seen it. If you have seen it, let me know. But this is very bullish scenario I'm going to portray here without drawing. Okay, and it won't take a minute for you to figure out. This particular pattern that you see here, I'm circling, is actually very similar to the whole entire pattern, this one. Only difference is this is a smaller scale, this is a bigger one. So this is your high. Don't go by exact dollar number or dimension, try to feel the pattern here. The high, low point, higher point, higher point. So I know that this is equal and this is a little lower, okay, but don't try to measure, try to get a feel of it. And this this high is like this. And so point is, this is high, low, and then it's not all the way high, but the high enough, and then this low. So here it's not about measuring the dimension, it's about what it's doing is made a high, rejected, made low, bounced, and then went up, went down. This is because of COVID, otherwise we would not have this. So maybe because of COVID, but I'm just counting, but otherwise this would be the low. In that case, it would not go that much deeper. But anyways, so high, then a low bounce here, then a bounce of rejection, then a low, but a higher low. This is low, this is a higher low, and then a bounce. So similarly, rejection here, all-time high, low, bounce, rejection here, and then support here. Okay, which is like this level, something like this level. So if you compare this whole entire unit with this unit, This is a miniature version of this. We can say that. So this is a huge consolidation, a boring one, but a huge positive consolidation, provided, as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, provided this low doesn't extend all the way down here. Okay, because this is still a boundary, but if this is broken, that's why 35k is super important. Why? Because if 35k is broken, then it could land on 29k, which is almost the low of this. Then the balance that you see here will be disturbed. So you would appreciate what I was saying probably more after this explanation, why this is super critical. It makes sense, because right now it's in perfect balance: high, low, then a high, then a lower but higher low, correct? And if it can go up from here slowly, whatever way, slow, fast, but then it gives immense upside move. Then this is, so if we got this move out of this consolidation, we can expect another move on the upside, which will definitely touch 100k if it breaks above, because 68k already reached. 100k is not a big deal to me. And people talk about 100k, and I have been saying that 100k is a small number, simply because it already touched 68k. What is there in 100k? 100k is not so far from 68k. So I don't know why people talk about 100k. It has to go higher than 100k if it breaks above, right? So in short, it goes down and enter into bear market. It continues going down, or if it breaks above, it is going to go higher than 100k, not 100k. 100k, I don't know why people talk about 100k. I don't understand that. But anyways, more maybe a round figure, psychological number. People like number with ending zero. That could be the only reason, like 10k, 50k, 100k, 1 million. People talk in that kind of numbers. People don't like 11,000 or 101k, something like. It's a probably psychological reason. 100k is not the number, in short. I'm seeing higher number than 100k if it breaks above. So that's my analysis, or interpretation of this pattern. So this is a super bullish pattern actually. Only thing is, this must not break below 35k. That's it. So I'm trying to make this super simple, and you see, you don't need a fancy drawing as well, but some drawing is required here for visualization purpose. Otherwise, so so whatever I explained in last 5 minutes, probably that's the most important analysis. It covers everything, because if these levels are taken down, I mean, if these are broken, then nothing else matter. And if this continue going up, then everything will be rosy. So with that note, I conclude the Bitcoin. We can have a quick look at monthly without drawing. It's not so good, but oops, but not a problem. And monthly, you will see this mini pattern similar to this one, probably more clearly, even clearer than weekly. High, low, then another attempt, and then a low, then high, low, another attempt, and then low. So this stage is equal to this stage. So if it continues going up like this, then why not 150k, why not 200k? Yeah, doable. Okay, so Bitcoin, I'll anyone got any question? We can continue with the other coins, like other active coins. Let me know. Anyone, any questions so far? No. Okay. um we'll go for weekly now. Weekly Aave is still in a downturn. So now again we are going to measure the relative strength, right? We have 40 plus coins. So we'll just measure their own strength, of course, and with respect to the required level and the relative strength. So this is still in a downside downtrend, very clear, right? uh, People sometimes when they see a pump like this they get mesmerized and then go after it. Okay, so I would if you're not very used to with weekly chart, weekly time frame, I would say make a habit. Okay, whenever you, it's nothing harm in looking at a lower time frame, but make a habit that you are going to open weekly, you will start with weekly and end with weekly, no matter what you do in between, but you will always look at weekly. Okay, tell this to yourself, because it gives you the perspective which lower time frame doesn't give you. And it is important for a long term player. I'm not talking about someone who is doing intraday. Weekly is useless for intraday, but I'm assuming everybody here, mostly at least, are long term player. They don't decide about market in a day or two, right? Or you could be doing both, but if you are focusing on longer term trend point of view, always focus, always open the weekly. Okay, I'll keep repeating even if you're bored. So you could clearly see that it's going down. You can see that, you can imagine a midline. It's like high, then a low, right? Then a lower high and a lower low. And so it has to make a new, so that's why required level matters, because then it changes the balance. So Aave is still going down. Okay, ADA is still going down, but from an overall, if you consider everything, if you consider only this segment that is going down, but if you put everything in top, you can say it's, this is low point, this is high point, this is low, but this is still higher low because this is still about this particular low. If this comes down to this one, that's not good, that's bad. But it is here, not here. It makes a huge difference. It makes a huge, so if it touches the S3, then it's a big problem for ADA, because then it is in the downtrend like Aave. Aave is already down. What coming down to S3 is equal to touching this level up around. So different coin has different strength. That's the relative strength I was talking about, right? And call like this will tell you every week that which coin has a higher relative strength. So you will get that insight. And of course you will also start learning. Probably you might not require my input after a few weeks or months, because you will, so this is educational. So this, for me, wrapping up this call, I mean, this call required only 15 minutes, but I spent more than an hour, because I believe that whatever I do is not just making calls like resistance and support. The amount of time I spend is for education, because my goal is very different. My goal is not to provide just a call, but make everyone a better trader, skill wise. I'm not trying to say I'm the I'm an amazing trader or whatever, but the point is, my expectation is you take away something more than just signal. That's the whole idea. So I'm explaining through different examples, so you can see the things in different ways and understand. So, and then start finding out which coin should I, because there are 40 plus coins. How would you know which one is better for you to choose and all? So I'm giving you different ideas here. And one more best practice, there are so many calls and there are so many coins. If you're trading, even if you're long term, uh, I think you just need 4 or 5 coin, in my opinion. maybe two coins sometimes are more than enough. You would be, but four coin, maybe up to four coins are fine. Why I'm saying four coins, for an example, you can say three coins with different, three four coins with different speed. You know the speed, right? I talked about that many times. That's it. You just need three four coins, and you can choose the three four coins based on their stages. Right now everybody is in the same stage because Bitcoin corrected. Otherwise some coin just near the resistance, some coin is under correction, some coin is bouncing. We would see that at this moment everybody is doing the same because everything um, everything corrected because of Bitcoin. So more or less they are in the same boat, right? But if later on they will have different boats, somebody would be hitting the target very close to the target or resistance, somebody would be, breaking out, breaking above the target, and so on. So three four coins usually are more than enough. I often trade personally just with one coin, just one coin. But I don't suggest just one coin. To me, I don't need many coins. Have one or two maximum sometimes, but not more than that. Too many coins, it's very hard to manage if you are a trader. Okay, algo, algo, nice. I mean, this is much. This is still higher. It bounced from S1, rejected by this interim orange level. Not bad. Alice is still in nice balance if you look at it. High, low, and then it's like moving sideways, boring, but this is like a platform, big platform. Because, yeah, if this comes down to this one, this region, then that's not good at all. This is totally fine, boring but fine. Because then whenever it shoots up required level, like goes above required level, then it will have immense energy, right? Then it will be very hard to stop. Alice in Wonderland. Then it will be in Wonderland. Okay. Atom, amazing phenomena, actually. What to say? Awesome. So it is at the required level. It did something unusual yesterday, shocked me. Not shocked in a way, surprised me because it was unruly in a positive way. It did really, I mean, outstanding job. Something. So it was leading, actually leading the market, being a one of the top ones, like market cap point of view. It's not ordinary coin like anything. Simple low market cap coin could go up even with Bitcoin going down because anyone could pump. It's very easy to pump low market cap. Atom, pumping atom, you need a lot of money. So when it was pumping, it was not that some group on Discord or whatever they decide to pump, and it's not doable that easily. So that's why it was significant. Anyway, so it did really well. Today it's down. That's all right. But look at the weekly. It's making weekly green candle, right? So nothing to worry from that point of view. Uh, AVAX is uh, yeah, this week was not so good for AVAX, but still, this is above S2. If it continues going down like this and breaks below S2, that's not good because if you look at it, I mean, you would ideally like to see this continues like trend. So that's why this is still on the edge. That's all right. So EX axis, yeah, it's going down at this moment, right? So it has broken this low, but this coin has gone up so much, so much. It never reached to the level. So, but we added with a green level. So it is still under consolidation. So I think we talked about this, right? That if this is broken, it could touch this. So maybe this has more downside pressure still before it goes up. Block, I think we'll simply ignore until it breaks up. As to I mentioned that I'm not going to track if it goes below this line. If it recovers, we'll look into that. So I'll just give a pass. BNB is got a support on S1. BNB is still fine, and it bounced from the support. It's good. I'm very curious how Spectrum is doing. We are going to go through all 22. We have 22 coins on Spectrum, 21 coins. Very interesting. CELR is consolidating on S2, which is good. Nothing wrong. So CLR is fine. You can say retesting S2. Crow is off balance now because it penetrated S1, but the week hasn't ended. This could be just a penetration. Week hasn't ended. Today Saturday, still more than 24 hours left before week ends, so it could bounce from here. So but still, I mean, at this moment it's up by 2%, so it could recover. So this could be simple a penetration. So this is a concept people are not aware. When you track weekly, and if this is the level, let's say this is the level, right? Or let's say hypothetically, if I draw yeah, we have a level 0.54. 0.54 is not broken technically because the week hasn't ended. You can say it has broken only if closes below that level. Whatever level you're tracking, the week has to, if you're tracking on a weekly, if you're tracking on daily, then if the price closes below that level, then you can say the level is broken. Similarly, on the upside breakout, you can say, so take this as an example. You see the high was up to this, but the week didn't close. A week didn't close here above this level, above the previous support, which is 63. So when it went down and then bounced, the week didn't close above this. Here, not here, not in here, not in here. So essentially there were attempts, and these are like penetrations, like you see, but a week didn't close above the support. So this was a rejection. Like for 4 months there were rejections. So this is very important point. So technically speaking, and formally, the formal definition is the week has to be closed, then only you can say whether it's upward breakout or downward breakout. You can say it's broken or either side, whatever. In this case, this has not broken above because the week didn't close above that level. Similarly, this is not broken below the blue because the week hasn't ended. So because this is weekly, if you track the daily, it's the same. If you're tracking the spectrum, you interpret the same way as well. You consider the spectrum line as the same. So if it is crossing the spectrum line, that's not the conclusion. It should close if you're tracking daily or weekly, depends on that. We'll look into that. So this is very important. People don't understand that. They think this is broken. This is not broken. It is called penetrated. Of course, it's a sign. It's a bad sign, but not a conclusion. Okay, so these are some key points. And Doge is down, but there's not much bounce today. That's so this is a support zone. So this is still in a downtrend, like Aave. You can clearly see this. This chart and Aave is not so different. They're different in terms of price, but not in terms of shape. Dot is very much similar to Bitcoin. I've been saying this, very much similar. The shape is anyway. So this is consolidating here, right? If it basically this particular week's low is important. Otherwise, it goes for S2. Very simple. EGLD is not looking good, because from a trend point of view, like counter trend point of view, because it's making new lows, right? It made, and this is a bigger candle. This is a good consolidation, but now this week was not good for EGLD. Made new low, right? But as far as overall structure is concerned, it's here. It's not somewhere here like many other coin. Forget about here. Like Aave is here. Doge is somewhere here. This coin is here. So from a relative strength point of view, this is still stronger than many other coins, right? So, but individually speaking, it is weaker than last few weeks, because this particular wave is still on the downside. There's no sign of bounce. That's why ETH is weaker. Look at that. So you see how good it was. Despite of BTC's weakness, ETH was unaffected. But this is the first week where you can see the major impact. If you go back on my video, I mentioned last week that the ETH is getting weaker than ever, and because of the sign that I was seeing. Now we can see the evidence here that it's pretty weak, and then last few weeks. But still, as I said, for EGLD, this is still a stronger coin than many other coins, comparison wise. And it is on S1. It was above S1. Now it has touched S1. So not a problem at all. But this has to change the course, right? It has to bounce. So right now there's no energy. So there's something is happening with Ethereum. So Ethereum used to be stronger than Bitcoin, but now it's showing more weakness in last 3-4 weeks, roughly speaking. Yeah, especially in last 2 weeks or so. It's very weak. I don't know what is happening, but it's not. It doesn't want to go up as if it's the downside pressure is even more higher. If you look at it's down by 0.5%, not a big number. Point is not a number. Point is it's not with Bitcoin, or it's not like 1% up. It used to be like that. If Bitcoin is 0.5% up, Ethereum would be like 1% up. Instead of in a green, instead of it's down. So that's something different. So I'm just highlighting that it's getting weaker somehow, some reason, I don't know. Strange. File is one of the weakest one. It has hit this one. So this is still in a nice downtrend. You can see very clear downtrend going on. One of the weakest one. Flux is strong. Look at the recovery. It went down, but look at the recovery. It's back to R2. It's back to the breakout level. That's the strength. So this coin is very strong. But yeah, when the Bitcoin goes down, this could be a vulnerable coin. That's true with many coins actually. So when a Bitcoin drops, you do some homework for you. I mean, do homework. Whenever Bitcoin goes down, you see what all coins goes down by what percentage. You do this 10 times, and you will get a good understanding of how different coins behave. Okay, you can see historical data as well, but sometimes you don't have time to do. Whenever Bitcoin goes down, just open your chart, your to-do list active, I assume you have all the active list in your trading view. If you don't, I would suggest you add all of them, maybe more of course, but at least active list. And then you when the Bitcoin goes down, immediately see what happens to different coins. Not one time, you see 10 times, 10 different occasions, and after that you will start understanding who does what, because then it will create start making patterns and trend. And that's where it helps you picking up the coin, which coin is good, when to pick what, you know. That's that will make you, that will take you to the next level, you know, because picking up coins is also an art, of course, not just about targets, but you know how to pick what coin, like when. That's an art, but it's not difficult. I'm giving you direction here, so you will be able to do it. As I said, one fine day you will be at a stage, maybe after a year or so, you will say, okay, I learned enough. Then probably there's nothing new that I'm providing other than probably targets, accurate target, but rest of the thing you would be very much aware of, and that will be um, achievement for me, not for you, because then I would be very happy that way. HMT, of course, for you as well, but more for me as well. HMT hit multiple times, and again this has rejected by our required level, so the required level matters a lot. But one of the strongest one, you can see. ICP is also one of the strongest one at this moment in this week, back to back 3 week. You know, it hit the R1 precisely. You cannot have more accurate target than this one. It hit the 38.02. This is a perfect one. So I think it has to do a lot. This is still a downturn, right? If it has to break over R2, I don't have required level for this one, but I'm just saying this is newly added one. It has to break R2 to get out of this. So far so good, I would say, but the R2 is bare minimum requirement for it to get out. Then it could do wonder eventually. KCS. KCS is weaker this week, right? But a very strong coin. Look at that. It's still near all-time high. It's not losing any value. This is one of the strongest one, isn't it? Look at that. It's sitting here. Oh, BTC down. That's a pre-alert for me, so we'll have to keep an eye. We'll look into that. Bad boy. Boy. KDA. KDA is still down. You see the downtrend continues, but from overall structure point of view, this is still about this particular December mid low, so you can track this low, otherwise it goes down to S2, right? KDA. KSM still going down, but still higher than this. So I think this is similar to Bitcoin. If it comes down to this level, which is similar to 29k of Bitcoin, like 35k, so this is like very similar structure there. So I think KSM dot are having similar structure. So it broke this level, which is not good, but this is not, the week hasn't ended. This is, I should not say broke, but penetrated. Not bad. Link is awesome. Look at that. It's down by 2%, but nice bounce. It required level is this. If this is able to break above, then it could do wonder. Because I see a good bounce here from here, because this is like almost going to die here. This was so critical, ultimate, because this trend line was like super critical since the beginning. during this one and this one. What I said about Bitcoin, remember that this is like a March level, March 2020 level, and I think that's more, actually that's more valid for uh, Link if you look at it, because this trend line provided the support here, and the same trend line provided the support here. So if it can survive and if it can go up, then you can see the way it made this progress here, whatever level from here, $2 all the way to 53. Then it could continue moving up, and ultimately, if I may extend this orange line, it could go and touch that line wherever it touches. That would be amazing. Over months or weeks. That it so you can expect that. So why not? But not here. About this. That's my condition. LTC, look at that. It broke the trend line. But it penetrated the trend line. Can it survive? Oh man. Yeah, looks tough. Man. This is it looks tough. The structure. LTC is often my guide. Okay, this is aggressive. Bitcoin is selling off. I mean, it's going down rapidly. Guys, if I may take a quick look, I'll things are changing very quickly here. Yeah, it came below. This new hour is changing, but anyway, we'll track it. So it's here. Undo this. This aggressive. This is not a regular dip. This is somebody's really shorting hard. This is still about this level. So I'll pause the recording for a moment and return back. Yeah, let's continue. So FTM is in it's corrected by 7% today. It is back to required level. It almost touched the R7 all-time high and returns back. You can see that now. So this is ugly rejection for sure. Huh. That's for sure on a weekly scale also. But week hasn't ended and this coin is crazy. It can go back in matter of hours. So I mean, only if it breaks the required level, penetrates the required level and start going down, then I think that's a point of concern, especially if it breaks the last week's low. This is bad rejection and kind of negative, but I would not conclude because it just happened. I would see how day closes and I would give some more time. I won't conclude it. Still, it's above required level and still above the last week's low. So there is no reason for me to say anything about FTM as far as about potential breakdown. Yeah, it would be premature. But yeah, this is on edge. That's for sure.
Hey,
GR, huh?
you missed Flux.
I did? No, I was talking
Oh,
about, I already said that. I
okay, okay.
already covered that it's near R2. So it's in a good position. So expecting it to continue, right? It's up by 23%.
Yeah,
But
doing good today.
yeah, we are good. So FTM is still good. Amazing, in fact. But yeah, vulnerable. We saw how it can go down like 18%. It went down by 18% or something. But so this is, but we have to be ready. That's the point. This gives you 20% here and there, up or down. Okay. GRT is one of the weakest one, right? But the same weakest one in a sense in a present time, if you put everything together, and if this remains here, not doesn't come down to this, and if it breaks below above required level, the same coin could be a huge valuable asset, because this consolidation could give immense firepower. So this is not good now, but it could be amazing if it breaks above the required level. So let me, I have to plug my charger. Hold on. So got a lot. Yeah, so right now GRT has nothing to offer, but we're keeping it. Yeah, we don't want, so S, it should not break S2. If S2 is broken, then the game is over. That means it goes pretty low, at a very low. I mean, then it's because the same consolidation would work in an opposite way. Then yeah, but this is building energy. So it depends whether if the energy is used for the upside or a downside. It all depends whether it's break S2 or required level. I think that's the easiest way to put. Yeah, so the energy is used in the same way. All depends on which level it breaks. That's the thing about consolidation. That's why key levels need to be tracked. Anything when this consolidation, whether it's a weekly or daily, whatever, you don't conclude anything. Like we saw quickly, Bitcoin, I immediately looked into that. You look into that Bitcoin, but it's not breaking the law as a low, so you don't conclude it. So we had a quick break when Bitcoin dipped. So you set an alert like that. You don't set alert on the low just to let you know. You set below above the low, so you get enough time. You see, I think this was a good example that uh, I could. So when I'm alerted, I paused whatever I was doing, and I immediately opened my chart and spend some time to see how what Bitcoin is doing. Is it like just a quick dip, or it's really aggressive and going down? That gives you time, because that level is not breaking the, I mean, that was still higher than the low, yesterday's low, right? So you get enough time. So you open chart, spend some time, watch what it wants to do. In fact, so let me go back and show you that. Let's say, so there was a unexpected dip, but now it's bouncing. So what you do is, whatever alert you have, you reset that alert again. you put you I had an alert here. You should not have alert here because it's too late. You should have alert in this region, because you get enough time. If it continues going down, you get enough time. You can have two alerts, in fact. One is pre-alert and then ultimate alert. If the pre-alert, you can say, oh, it's just a pre-alert. But if the other alert is, which is very close to low, then you can say, okay, now there's something serious. So this can be a method of tracking, very effective method, I'm telling you. So I had alert because I had to pay attention. I cannot keep staring at my chart, right? So I set alert if this is not a call, and then I would immediately look into, and then if, let's say, if it continues going down, I would have posted on BTC daily, say that if this is very close or whatever, watch out something. So this is how I am tracking. You could do the same way if you want. Right, but use alert. I think alert is going to change your style of trading, if you're not using, just in case. So you don't have to stare at your charts all the times. Okay, let's continue. Where were we? Oh, we were actually, you know what, LTC. My bad. We were on LTC because that's where I was shocked that this is pretty deep. Anyway, yeah, this is not good. It's still a penetration, but not liking it. Yeah, we'll give some time, but not liking it. I'm just keeping this. I'm not going to remove this. I have this green arrows, but I'm going to keep this. I know it's scary. Wow. This could be the top. Luna Navik has already gave a down signal last night before the drop started. It was waiting for the confirmation, and it confirmed, and it confirmed before the drop, which is good thing. And it's the Luna is very vulnerable. If you're long on Luna, let me tell you, be careful. I'm not getting a good feeling about Luna because of the structure that it is building. So let me be. So it's not looking good. Simple. It's not looking good. Be cautious. Be cautious. This is not looking good. I'm telling you. This is being recorded. I don't know what I'm saying. Now it is set for Ethereum and Luna, two coins. You're going to get two perpetual signals on under the navigator category. Okay, that's totally free, no charges, no additional feature. I mean, no additional thing. It's part of the regular plan. Those two coins. MANA is not bad, but yeah, not bad. But this is a retest. That means if this is broken below, then that's not good. Right. So this is on edge for sure. Matic is also on edge, right, on S1, but still trend is maintained. So at this moment it's all right. One is in excellent position, one of the strongest one, you see, amazing. It's above the required level. It's above the required level, and so this is one of the strongest one at this moment. Right, look at the progress. Oh wow, back to back green. Yeah, so not there are not many coins. This is not 1 week of performance. There are so many good things about one. First of all, near all-time high. Second, five back-to-back green candles. Third, above the required level. Everything is good about this coin in this moment. Everything. Look at that opal. This is gone. When I'm not going to track this. Assume it's gone. For now, we'll see when it recovers. Ignore this coin. This is bad. It's up by 3%. I know. We'll see if it recovers at this moment. I'm just ignoring. RNDR got weak. It retesting this low. Now this is building pressure. This is the total failure of the pattern. It should have gone up from here. Now going down. So it's moving away from required level. So this is vulnerable. This is more. This is getting weaker. So very much like on edge. Right. So if it recovers from here, if it is again a retest, then fine. It is possible. It hasn't broken yet. So, but the point is, it doesn't look good. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Sand. Sand is also getting weaker, right? And going down at this moment. Right. So this red line is my three at around 3.9. This is the most critical one. But yeah, this is down, going down. So this can be ignored. There is no opportunity in short. This is bad. SKL is getting weaker and weaker. Oh man, yeah. This is on edge. So this whole entire setup can actually. So this can bring down SKL even further, all the way down here. Not looking good to me. Getting. Yeah, but yeah, anyways, it hasn't broken, so unless it is broken, we cannot conclude, but we can say that this is pretty weak. Solana is following the path. It's up by 5%, but that's in a big scheme, it's nothing. So we have been tracking this one on a daily, actually, this pattern. Remember, from here, everything is going on as per the projection. So and now it rejected by the red. So you see, we can now we can eliminate this green arrow because it didn't happen. This is how, these are the probability. We can still keep this arrow here because this is like a decisive level. So either it recurs from here and go up like this, or continue with the dotted line, right? And let me tell you, this is building a right hand side pattern, like left hand side pattern. This is your head. Be careful, because this coin could go down to this level, and if this is broken, there's absolutely no, this is the checkpoint, of course, but there's absolutely no support. I extended up to here, but it could go up to this one, not in a straight line, but it could continue moving down all the way to this one. I'm going to keep this, and of course there are checkpoints in between, like this one, and of course this one. These are checkpoints, and finally this one. Each point you can imagine green arrow, right? So if this is broken here, potential upside move, fails, goes here, potential upside move, fails. If it fails, comes down to this, and again same thing repeated. So each point is a opportunity, but failure of that opportunity leads to the lower level, and this could go down in a unimaginable way. People would not have thought about it probably. And this is where hodlers lose money unless they have booked the profit in some way, the capital. Those who bought here and hodling, say hodling is a very tricky business. Hodling is fine if you have booked, if you have encashed your invested amount, then hodling is fine because there's nothing to lose. Hodling is horrible if you have bought on top and in loss, and asset starts dropping from that level and starts a bear market. So people talk about hodling, people don't explain the hodling part properly, people don't explain the buy the dip properly. My problem with the social media contents is, it's not they're talented people, they're talented TA, but sometimes I feel that they are not explaining things properly. They are, so buy the dip, buy the dip, yeah fine, buy the dip, but on the rise, not when it's falling. When it, so it dips, and when it rises you see how high it goes and that you buy. Or when it starts rising you start small something. That kind of guidelines need to be provided. People just keep saying buy the dip, buy the dip. That's stupidity. As if the people have in, you know, in an infinite amount of money. That's insanity. Anyway, so that's off topic. So Salona is, I would say, be careful because of the structure. So look at that. There's nothing, but there's not only that. It could consolidate in this and come down to this level. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But I don't want to remove this. Right. So this is like a crown. This is a head. There's nothing in between. But there are some few things which you'll keep in mind. We'll see. But so far, everything is as per the roadmap. You must have seen it right from here. Everything. So this is very interesting. You know what? If Bitcoin goes down, as I said, there could be a long-term shorting opportunity on 1x. If it is, if you are able to plan better way, there's opportunity on the downside, not the long side. Because this is a trend. Luna is a trend. But going short with leverage is dangerous. Going short with Luna and all is so dangerous. Simply because they move up so much. So leverage is super risky. 1x is okay. But with baby steps. Approach A if you're not. So it's swing trading, but on the downside. Swing trading, swing is swing, up or down, doesn't matter. Okay, Uni is Uni could retest this level. So interestingly, this is low. This is a retest of this low, and then this is another U-turn retesting this low. So this is totally fine pattern wise, and it can make a U-turn like this and goes up. It is possible. But if it comes down and breaks below the whole entire box that you see the setup, go against it, and then it goes. S3 is small number. I don't think it will stop until 4.7 if this structure collapses. If this structure collapses, this can be one next support, but it could go down up to $4 5 or even below to 3 to 5 range if this collapses. So be careful. But otherwise, the same buildup can be a great advantage, like for the upside move. VET is similar. This track this low, 29th November low. This is the most important, and it could you can draw this line. It could land on this one also. Yeah. So 29th week low, November low, and then this red line you can draw. If you're holding this one, you can draw a line. You can track this one, and if this is broken below, then S2 it's on. VR is still fine. It's still above S2, so it's still okay. But yeah, we can say this is on edge because you see this is like near low, so you can actually extend this line like this, maybe a box, a strip like this, like this. Makes sense. So this is important one. This is an edge, correct? Because if this is broken below, then there's nothing until this. Maybe there is an in between. There's one level here. Not that it crashed to, but then potential target would be this. And if I extend, then then it becomes a head. The whole entire thing becomes a head. And then you have a left hand side, and then a bounce, and then goes down. But that's too much far in the future. I don't want to depict that now, but a possibility. It's not the same because structure is not like Salona, but yeah, it could end up in a similar fashion. Anyway, so this is important. Any price below this S2 is a red flag, in short. So this covers all the alts and everything Bitcoin. We can move into Spectrum and see Spectrum is telling us